Hi, so Taylor Swift just released a new album, The Life of a Showgirl, and I listened to it yesterday and I was thinking, the last time I did anything Taylor Swift related on this channel was that one funny time where I tried ranking all the songs on one of her oldest albums, Speak Now, with all the alpha reads on Pyraminx, because I was getting into both the album and Pyraminx at the time. So fast forward a few years, she's released her new album, so I thought, you know what, why don't we try doing that again, except with WCA events this time. Like, the last time was pretty fun, and this will probably be the highest effort video you're gonna see on this channel, so why not, let's just get into it. Okay, so as you can see on my wonderful little tier list here, I've got a bunch of different tiers from S tier to... Why the heck did I... Wait, hang on, my bad chat. This should be E tier, this should be F tier. So you go from S to F, and the bottom one is events and albums that I haven't listened to or tried, so stuff that I can't really give that good of an opinion on, so I think that's fair. Starting off strong with 3x3. I don't really like 3x3 personally, which is kind of funny, although I would say it's quite a balanced event. There's no funny parodies, and it's not that fast of an event. It's also not that long of an event, and it's got about a good amount of album knowledge you need along with intuition, so I think it's really well balanced. Like, I don't do it personally, I don't really practice it anymore. I would honestly say, hey, it's a very good benchmark for how other events should be. Alright, so that's 3x3 done. So let's start with Taylor Swift's first album.
And he says, our song is a slam and scream doors.
And this is a country album, believe it or not, so it's not even a pop album. And all the rest of the albums after that, they were pop albums. So I haven't really listened to it, so I'll just put it in that tier for now. I think it had a lot of potential, like it had mainly country with some pop elements to it, and it really sounded like a country version of a mix of Fearless and Speak Now. And I think those albums are solid, so quite liked it, and yeah, maybe I should listen to it a bit more. And with 2x2, I think it's great that it's a sprint event and it's something that beginners can get into pretty easily. But at the highest level, it's kind of insane that it's one of the first events that's almost become basically fully optimized. At some point, you just basically intuitively get a feel for it, which I think is what the top solvers, maybe excluding Ihan because he just spams stuff, it's what they do. So I think it's a great balance of yeah, easiness and also difficulty in terms of album knowledge. So I'll put that in B, not A, because it's like too fast and it's prone to like sliding issues. That was that whole thing. So yeah, B sounds about right. Fearless.
Take my hand and drag me head first, fearless.
Interesting. This is her first pop album. I think there's a lot of bangers on this one. I quite liked it when I was listening back to it. Yeah, Fearless, 15 Love Story. You Belong With Me is great. Even like Stay. It's a lot of great stuff. It's not the most standoutish. It falls into that trap that I think a lot of her albums fall into, of everything just sounding the same, which isn't great. It's nice. It's not particularly mature of an album, which makes sense. She was like my age when she made this one. So I would put it in B tier as well. Yeah, I'm just gonna rank it higher than 2x2, just because. 4x4. Okay, I don't like double parity. It could be worse. It could be like 6x6 and triple parity. And I think it's nice that it's a fast enough event that it feels like you can just spam and get away with it. It doesn't feel like a big cube. It just feels like a small big cube, if that makes any sense. And I think stuff like OPA isn't particularly meta, which is kind of unfortunate, but the fact that it exists and that the fact that some people have done it makes it more interesting as an event overall. But you know, if it would be more meta, that would be kind of fun. Double parity kind of sells it for me. Like, your times just fluctuate way too much and it's so inconsistent to get down. Okay, Speak Now. This is a funny album, probably the one that got me into listening to Taylor Swift in the first place. It's got plenty of great stuff on it. The first song that really got me into listening to Taylor Swift was Enchanted, mainly because I think it's about Owl City, Adam Young or something. So I heard that it was about him, and I was like, okay, why not give it a listen to? Because I was very into Owl City at the time. Then I listened to it and I was like, dang, this song is really, really good. And I think it captures just the feeling of a crush. Captures that essence like perfectly, which is wonderful. It's got many wonderful aspects to it. The guitar in the beginning is one of the best intros to a Taylor Swift song ever. I like it a lot. Except that I think there's also good songs. I like Sparks Fly, Back to December, Dear John is nice, Never Grow Up is nice, Long Live is great. Long Live is such a good, like, nostalgic sounding song. But the rest of the songs on the album kind of fall into that trap of either like really, really slow paced or just very immature sounding teenage drama. Like, I think one of the lyrics were, someday I'll be living in a big old city and all you're gonna be is mean. And the song's titled Mean. Like, come on, you can have more depth to a song. I would definitely put it higher than Fearless. Actually, maybe I'll move Fearless down to a C, because I think Speak Now just has better singles and is better thematically than Fearless. Yeah, I would also rank it lower than 2x2. So 2x2 is still in B tier. Okay, 5x5. 5x5, this is an S tier event for me. I'm not particularly good at 5x5, but it's like the perfect big cube in the sense that there's only one parity, so yeah, that's that. And making centers isn't stupid to the point like 4x4 where you just make a bar and make the center. It's like there's actually multiple ways of doing so, and you can also be efficient in really interesting ways. Like stuff like L4E is interesting step, which you don't really see on 4x4 much due to like 3-2-3 pairing, and it's only one parity. The hardware for 5x5 is great. The gun, the outrun, it's varied enough that there's something for everyone. So I think it's a great event to practice, a great event to get into. I wish I were better at 5x5. You know what? In the meantime, I'll just get 6 and 7. I'll get 6 and 7 done as well, because there's just too many events. 6x6 is, you know what, let's put in E tier. Because if you know how to solve a 5x5 and a 4x4 and a 3x3, you know how to solve a 6x6 already, except that there's another parity, which is just annoying. Plus the hardware is probably the aspect that sells it for me the most. We don't really have good hardware yet. Like the one I think most people use nowadays is just the Aoshi Worm, but the V4 is supposedly good, but at the moment that's not really released widely yet, so I'll just put it at that. 7x7, let's put it in D tier. It's better because there's no triple parity, but also not terrible. I don't really practice both of them, so I'll just put that there. Okay, let's go on to Red. Red is interesting. I don't know. Like, Taylor's version especially, which has the 10-minute All Too Well version, it's got some standout singles. Red is great. I like Red a lot. All Too Well is great. 22. We're Never Ever Getting Back Together. Stay, Stay, Stay. Yeah, it's a lot of great stuff in here. But I don't think it's as standout as something like Speak Now or Fearless. And it feels closer to a modern pop album than both of those. So I'll put it in C tier. I wouldn't put it down to like 6x6 levels. Like I would prefer to listen to Red than solve a 6x6. But seems about right to have 4x4 in between. 3 Blind, S tier event for me. I'll put 5x5 before 3 Blind first. It's short enough. There's really cool things you can do, even after 3 style. There's stuff like floating. Even to me, I don't really do much blind, but it's very cool to see. And the fact that people can get that fast is kind of crazy. Reputation.
Are you ready for it?
I don't know, man. I'll put it in. Let's do B tier. For context, I think Reputation was an album that she made after the Kanye West drama, when he said something about Beyonce and people started criticizing her or whatever. I think that was related. I don't know if that was the main motivation for starting the album, but yeah. I think it's good. Let me take a look. Ready for It's great. Don't Blame Me, Delicate. Getaway Car is a goated song. Delicate's goated. Look What You Made Me Do is such a interesting stylistic change from everything she's done previously that makes it, I think, interesting enough of an album to be ranked higher than Red and Fearless. I would rank it higher than 2x2, actually, yeah. Just because the vibes feel good. FMC, I don't think I'm worthy enough to rank it. I've only done like 3 solves at home, but I think it's quite interesting to have comms and insertions, and then even at the high level there's stuff like DR, HTR, and all sorts of funny things that you can do. But the fact that there's an actual limit to how good FMC can be is also interesting. So I don't know. I don't think I'm good enough or I've done it enough to form a good enough judgment. 1989.
But I've got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name.
I have interesting opinions about this album. I know some people regard it as her best album. I think it's good. Welcome to New York, Blank Space Style, Out of the Woods, Shake It Off, Bad Blood, Wildest Dreams. Goated songs. I think it's great. But I don't know. I think it's neither here nor there. Good songs compiled together, but it doesn't feel great as an album. As standalone songs, it's great, but in terms of cohesion, I don't really know. I don't like it that much as compared to her other ones. So I would put it like here after 2x2 and after Reputation. Yeah. One-Handed. One-Handed is an easy A tier for me. It's very interesting that Rue has become the new meta. When I started cubing, I was still C-Fop, but M moves are cool to see. I don't do it enough, and I'm also not very good at it. So, let's do Clock while we're at it. Clock is interesting. I'll put it in D tier above 7x7. It's a sevens. If it weren't for 7 Simon, it would be an F tier event. But I quite like the fact that it's become more optimized, that people are able to turn so fast, and it's also really easy to improve at. It feels really basic. It's a really basic thing. You just memorize a bunch of numbers, do intuitive moves, solve the clock. But seeing people do it at such a fast pace is crazy. And the fact that it doesn't require algorithms is also great for beginners. It's not that spectator friendly, but I would argue it's fast enough of an event to just be interesting to see people just like solve it. It's an interesting event. Why not Megaminx at the same time? Megaminx I really like, actually. I'll put it A tier. I've gotten into Megaminx a little bit more recently, and it feels similar enough to a 3x3 that it's very transferable. It's probably the most transferable side event from 3x3 out there. And the Alex sets are cool. It's got a great blend of just being as efficient as you can at F2 and S2L and just knowing Alex will last later. And there's many different solving styles out there, so there's like something for everyone too. And yeah, there's no parity. No parity is great. So let's do Lover. Lover, I really like Lover. I'd put it above 3x3 actually. It's probably one of my favorite Taylor Swift albums out there. It's such a vibey album, I would say. I Forgot That You Existed, Cruel Summer, Lover. Cruel Summer is such a good song. I'm very, very glad that it got as much credit and as much love as it did in recent memory. The Man is great. I think he knows. Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince. Oh my gosh, that was a great song to start the tour with. I'm so glad you chose it. Paper Rings is a great vibey thing. Death by a Thousand Cuts. Awesome. You Need to Calm Down. Me. Daylight. It's just got so many bangers and they all fit the same vibe and they go so well together. It's such a good album. Oh my days. I'm sure I shifted out to S tier. I don't know. I'll just leave it in A tier, but I think it's like really, really good of an album. Maybe I'll put it behind 3x3. Yeah, that sounds about right. Pyraminx, I would say it's in between Speak Now and Reputation. It's a B tier event for me. It's tips are annoying, first of all, but also getting rid of tips wouldn't really solve the problem of them not doing much in the first place, because it would just make it too fast an event. But it's quite cool to be able to one-look it and just spam TPS, and there's not too many L3 cases out there, so it's pretty easy and accessible to get into at a high enough level. Like, even people at the highest level don't really use stuff like ML3 all that much, so if you can turn quickly enough, and if you can one-look, you'd pretty much be good at Pyraminx, and I think it's quite accessible, which is great. Also beginner-friendly, which is awesome. Let's do Folklore. Gang. Folklore is S tier for me. I would rank it higher than 5x5. I love Folklore so much. It was a COVID album. I hadn't really listened to Taylor Swift back then, but there's just so many good songs in this, and it goes so well cohesively. Like, probably my second or third favorite album of all time, which is a bit funny putting a Taylor Swift album as a second or third favorite, but The One, Cardigan, Last Great American Dynasty, Exile, August, Betty. Betty is a great song. And she also had some interesting country roots back in this album, where songs like Betty had harmonicas, had guitars, all that sort of country noise and country sound, which goes right back to her roots, which I really like. It just shows that she's still able to produce something stylistically different and make it work well as an album, which is awesome. I really liked listening to this one. It's also got some great vibe changes. It doesn't all sound the same, which is really my main critique of all of her songs, other than the fact that her lyrics aren't great. The lyricism in these songs are also great. It feels very deep, feels very thought through and mature, and the approach that she took to writing the album is one that I think was great. She didn't keep on making stupid songs about her love life, because who wants any of that? But she just chose to do it from some other perspective. Betty, for example, like Betty and August, I believe those were songs that were supposed to be written in a fictional love triangle sort of a style. And I think that's a really cool concept. It's a really cool concept that not many songwriters do. I think this is peak Taylor Swift. I said it, yeah, I love Folklore so much. Give it a listen. If there's anything to take away from this, give Folklore a listen. It's a great album. Skewb, above Reputation, B tier. That's a lot of things in B tier looking at it, but Skewb is interesting. I like the fact that there's no AUF for Skewb, and getting into it at a high enough level is harder than Pyraminx, in the sense that you need to know Advanced, and NS is not a very easy ALK set to learn, but Advanced is pretty okay since just hedges and sledges. There are the annoying 5 hedge or sledge cases that you have to deal with, but it's a cool event. Layer making is a very interesting thing. I'd argue it's one of the best aspects of sprint events. Like, there's so many cool ways you can just make layers. And the fact that EG2 is becoming a thing is awesome. NS is a really cool ALK set as well. So I quite like it. I wouldn't put it... Should I put it above Pyraminx? Actually, yeah, I think it's a better event than Pyraminx. Solid event. Okay, let's do Evermore. Evermore is a solid A tier for me. I would put it above 3x3. I would say that the first few songs of Evermore are a better set of songs than Folklore. Folklore starts out very strongly, but I think Evermore is one of her most strong starts out of any album. Willow, Champagne Problems, Gold Rush, 'Tis the Damn Season. Goated set of songs, but I don't know, Tolerate It, Nobody No Crime. And then it kind of falls off with Happiness Dorothy, Ivy. I don't like Cowboy Like Me. My favorite Taylor Swift song at the moment, Marjorie, is also on this album, which, Marjorie is a great song. My goodness, it captures the concept of grief really well. And yeah, it's fine. It sounds very similar to Folklore, but it falls into that trap of everything sounding the same. So I'll put it in A tier. Square One, I made this thing. I'm gonna think quite hard about this. I would put it at the start of C tier. I think it's a very interesting event. Like, there's a reason I chose to main it in the first place. Like, it looks really cool. Only shape-shifting puzzle out there. Things like parity are annoying, but it's probably the only event where doing some sort of parity avoidance method is the meta. But 3-look is getting a bit boring in the sense that you just look at the cube, do an ALG, look at the cube, do an ALG, and that's how many people view it. But even within those, doing an ALG step is interesting stuff. Like, there's 967 PBL cases. No one effectively, essentially knows all of the 1 algos to that. And you have to get around that by doing cool things like 2CP and 2ALG PBL. And there's interesting alternate solutions that people would do for different PBLs out there, which I think makes it an interesting enough event. Like, PBL is one of the coolest ALK sets out there, I will say. OBL is a stupid set. It takes so long to get used to. Like, personally, I had to relearn it 3 times to actually get used to it and use it officially, but it feels really cool when you get to use it. So CSP is also really interesting. The fact that you can avoid parity by doing alternate solutions in a cube shape, and tracing is also quite interesting of a method to be able to do. So not bad at all. Why is 5 blind here? Yeah, 4 blind should be first. I don't know if I can judge 4 blind. Like, I haven't really done it. Like, it's interesting seeing Stanley Chapel dominate the event, but other than that, like, I don't really have many opinions on it. Midnights. Midnights, I don't know. I haven't listened to it as much as I would like to have, but I think I'm qualified enough to judge it. Lavender Haze, Anti-Hero, Snow on the Beach, You're on Your Own Kid, Bejeweled, Karma. I like the fact that it's an interesting stylistic change in between this album and the whole COVID Folklore Evermore thing, which is awesome. Midnights is very interesting stylistically. I think it's also critically quite well acclaimed. I personally don't really like it. I think the vibes are just weird, and she falls into this. She uses this echoish voice way too much in the album. Like it TSPMO, man. But it's got some good singles. Everything sounds somewhat distinct from her previous albums and even the songs between one another. I would put it around red. Yeah, maybe C tier sounds about right. There's like a lot of merit to this, but not a fan personally. Five Blind I can't really rank either. It's like, okay, it's cool that Stanley Chapel's doing well in another thing, but not many people are, actually no one's at his level pretty much, except maybe Hill a year back, but don't really have many opinions in that either. Tortured Poets Department.
And for a fortnight there we were.
Oh, I just love this album. I'm just kidding, it sucks. I hate this one. This is the first album that I was there for as someone who had actually listened to some of Taylor Swift's stuff before that. And I was very, very excited for it. Like, I was looking forward to it. It seemed interesting. I liked that from the sound of the album, the Tortured Poets Department, that I thought that was going to be more focused on lyric writing and just deep music. But you know how I said that Midnight uses that whole echoey voice thing too much? This thing does it even more. I think the only song that I really liked out of this was Fortnight. My least favorite song at the time, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, is on this album. And that was a really, really annoying song. I did not like it at all. Melodically, it wasn't very interesting. Lyrically, it was stupid. Like, I'm so depressed I act like it's my birthday every day. I am obsessed with him, but he avoids me like the plague. I cry a lot, but I am so productive, it's an art. You know you're good when you can do it even with a broken heart. It was not worthy of like winning Grammys or stuff, so I'm glad that she didn't get it. I would rank it worse than 6x6. I prefer to do 6x6 than the album. Okay, Multi-Blind. Multi-Blind, I don't know if I can rank, but it's quite cool to see. Actually, no, I'll just rank it anyway. I think it's cool. It's nice that you have this event that like you can choose however many cubes you want to do. And it's also a great way of seeing the human limit of how much you can memorize and execute in an hour, which it's a very cool event in general. The fact that Roman rooms are a thing in this album, I was about to say album, oh my days. In this event is also quite interesting. So B tier, it's also great spectator-wise. You have tons of videos out on YouTube that have millions upon millions of views that are literally just people doing Multi-Blind for an hour. So really impressive stuff too. Okay, now we're going on to the album that started this, The Life of a Showgirl.
Don't know the life of a showgirl, babe.
I was listening to this yesterday. If you saw the video that I posted to my channel of me doing like an AO12, I was playing this in the background. I think it's an improvement over Tortured Poets Department. I only really liked two songs from this, The Fate of Ophelia and Elizabeth Taylor. So those are the first two songs, but neither of those songs are nearly as strong as something from Evermore or Folklore. So I don't really know. It wasn't that standoutish. The vibe change was interesting. Melodically and production-wise, it's cool. It's a vibe shift from Tortured Poets Department, which I appreciated. But at the same time, like, it doesn't sound like the title at all. It doesn't sound flamboyant or showgirlish, which is, I think, what many people were looking forward to. And Father Figure is a stupid song. Don't look at the lyrics to that song. I was doing Squan in between, then I heard the lyrics and I had to pause and see if she had actually said those things. Eldest Daughter is a terrible song in terms of lyrics. The lyric writing in this thing is just not very good. Listen, the start of Eldest Daughter, the 5th track on the album, goes, "Everybody's so punk on the internet. Everybody's unbothered till they're not. Every joke's just trolling and memes. Sad as it seems, apathy is hot. Everybody's cut through in the comments. Every single hot take is cold as ice." You know how I was talking about Speak Now being shallow? This is worse. And this is like, I don't know how many years after Speak Now. I was honestly a bit disappointed, but the vibes in general were okay. It was enjoyable to listen to, but if you really try and look deeper into the album, it's not a very good album, I have to say. And why was there a Charlie XCX diss track on here? Charlie XCX is doesn't even match Taylor Swift in terms of similarity, in terms of their songs and all that. Like, great stuff on Brat, not for me personally, but apparently Actually Romantic, one of the songs on the album, was a diss track towards Charlie XCX, and I don't know, it just came out of nowhere. It was very strange. The Sabrina Carpenter feature was okay at best. Sabrina herself sounds better than Taylor Swift on the song, and I don't know, it's like a bit underwhelming, especially in terms of like the lyricism, all that stuff. I would have to say that Clock is a better event than this as an album. D tier sounds about right for this. Okay, we don't actually have anything in F tier. That's quite interesting. Alright, so that is my tier list. Tell me if you agree or disagree with any of this. This is actually pretty fun to do. Thank you very much for watching, and I will hopefully see you in the future with a less high effort video. Bye bye.